What's going on, guys? Peter Cruz here. Doing a little bit of cleaning in the studio, so you won't see any blue screen effect today. Getting ready to start getting crazy with the Atlanta Suite CD I'll be working on. Kind of doing some rearranging and whatnot, I guess, for workflow purposes or whichever. Kind of got everything out, kind of in a mess right now. I got my one studio monitor over here, the other one's way in the other corner. I got the desk pulled away from the wall. You can barely see it. It's over here. It's usually it's up against the far wall. Just kind of organizing some stuff. I was cleaning out the my producer station, pulling some of the rack mounts out and rearranging them and so forth. And I'm actually strongly considering getting a new audio interface for my computer. I've got I've had for a number of years now an MU1820M. I mean, it's got like 18 ins and 20 outs. It's got ADATs in and out, MIDI in and out, SPDIF, analog with balanced in and outs, up a gazillion channels or whatever, headphones and the whole bit. 2 mic pre's with the combination jacks in the front. Really nice interface. It's got really nice converters. Same stuff they use in the Pro Tool rigs. Like 120 dB dynamic range. Really clean stuff. But I kind of have to fault MU that they've been real slacking in the driver department, and they really have never officially released drivers, or updated drivers, I should say, for Windows 7, which is what I'm using. And honestly, I've not had any issues with it. I mean, I think they've supported up until like Vista 64-bit and so forth, which I think a lot of the understructures of Windows are probably very similar. And I've not had any issues with the patch mix software with MU, my interface, or any dropouts in Sonar X2 or X1, or before that I was using 8.5 and all the way on back. It's been real solid, but I'm really looking into upgrading my system software to Windows 8. I've seen a lot of promising studies and reports and whatnot on Windows 8 being really solid, especially for audio work, digital audio workstations, stuff like that, especially in a 64-bit environment, running a native 64-bit audio workstation software such as Cakewalk Sonar X2. And I've seen case studies where it's just been really solid and really smooth, and actually better performance than what you get under Windows 7. So that kind of has me excited. So I'm looking at a couple of interfaces right now to replace this, because I know as soon as I upgrade to Windows 8 64-bit, my MU is going to stop working. And at the same time, I think I'll end up losing my Universal Audio plugins. I've got 2 UAD1 cards in my computer. I've actually got a third card that wouldn't fit in the computer, which is where I've got the PCI card for my MU interface. So I'm looking to go either Firewire or USB 2 for the interface, which is kind of like where I'm looking at right now. And I guess the top contenders, I guess you could say. I'm looking at PreSonus. They got a number of different products that are really promising that would fit my needs here in the studio. And Focusrite's got some really great stuff too that I'm also kind of debating on which way I want to go. Great drivers, real solid. I know the PreSonus stuff that I'm looking at already has Windows 8 compatibility, and the Focusrite, the Firewire stuff isn't Windows 8 ready yet, but they're fixing to go to, getting ready to. Fixing's a southern thing. Being down in Texas, you hear that a lot. Anyway, no, but the Focusrite, they've got drivers that are probably soon to be in beta, for public beta use or whatever, for their Firewire stuff. I'm looking at some of the Sapphire interfaces. They got the, the Scarlet that are real promising, but I'm not crazy about the ins and outs that they've got. The I guess the Scarlet 18i6 looks really cool, but I think I'm lacking a little bit on the outputs in case I want to route some stuff out to rack gear or whichever. I'll run into trouble there. Other than that, the Sapphire, I'm looking at bottom end. I'm looking at a 24, maybe the 24 DSP, which will have me totally covered with ins and outs. It's got ADAT in, it's got SPDIF in and out, the MIDI and so forth. Whereas on the Sapphire, you're kind of lacking on the analog outputs. In that same price range, I should say, $299 or $300 at Guitar Center, Sweetwater, Sam Ash, wherever you want to buy your stuff from. But other than that, I'm also looking at PreSonus has a really, really cool, what's it, an 1818 VSL audio box, blah, blah, blah. I think it's like $4.99 online. And that's a USB 2.0 interface. Real slick, although I'm not crazy about the metering on it. And then you turn around and you look at the Focusrite, their Sapphire Pro 40, which is sort of kind of like neck and neck with the audio box 1818. That one's a Firewire also on the Focusrite that has got all the ins and outs covered, ADAT, SPDIF, in and out, MIDI. It's got all the analog inputs on the front with the adjustments and so forth. Kind of like the PreSonus, the 1818 also does that. And they got all the different connections on the back and whatnot for digital interfacing with ADATs and word clock and whatever. So, but the Focusrite Sapphire one is a Firewire, of course, which oddly enough is compatible with the chipset I've got on my motherboard on my PC. Whereas all the PreSonus Firewire stuff, even though it's listed as possibly being compatible, they say if you start running a bunch of channels on it, it's going to start crapping out on you because it's one of those in-between chipsets. So, according to them. But on Focusrite, it's on their preferred list. And M-Audio, M-Audio, PreSonus, and I forget who else I was looking at. All their Firewire products, my chipset apparently is not on the A list. So if I go anywhere other than Focusrite, I'm looking at probably a USB connection. And if I go Focusrite, I'm probably looking to go Firewire. And I don't know, I mean, have you used any interfaces that don't plug straight into your computer, like a PCI or PCIe card? I mean, are you using, USB 2.0? Are you using Firewire? What kind of latency are you getting? I mean, I'm not really looking necessarily to go use Guitar Rig for my recording for the Atlantis suite, but I'm planning to use my Hughes and Kettner TubeMeister, both red box out and mic'd up with the SM57 on the cabinet. But I also wanted to take a direct channel at the same time through my software and record. So I basically recorded 3 guitar tracks simultaneously as I'm tracking. And basically, if I need to, for whatever reason, reamp something, I've got the flexibility. I can run Guitar Rig or whichever. But if the latency is going to suck, and I mean it's not going to work out to where it's going to record and this and that, I mean that's going to be a pointless thing. I need to find a different interface. So anyway, appreciate your comments below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. That's all I got for today. No playing video. Sorry guys. Like I said, everything's kind of in a mess right now. I don't think anything's even hooked up. Everything's been unhooked and moved around. So I got some work to do. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. Hopefully I can start getting some stuff tracked up this weekend. So rock on. Talk to you later.